Alright guys, so a little bit of an update from Velofan. You may have noticed I've only done, I think it's one ride this year, the one that is with the avenue of beech trees. So having a few starting problems with the KTT and investigating a few different things. I've been investigating the carb and adjusted the mixture a little bit. I found that it had been out, that's improved things, that's good. Still hard to start. So I've now looked at the timing and kind of changed. Had a 12 foul gap on the points on the mag, but the book does say 15. I think I've been 15 in the past, changed to 12, whatever. So I've gone back to 15 and then tried to reset it for 35 degrees before top dead center. It's really hard, so I might be more likely nearly 34. It's really close, hard to tell. But anyway, that's not really the major issue really. So I noticed my chain on my primary was really slack, and it's hard to tell because I always keep all the original tin wear on the bike, but yeah, I could see it was pulling off the back of the clutch sprocket, so that was weird. And then now it actually is rubbing on like a piece of the should we say like footrest subframe element. So it's actually ground into that. The chain's actually ground through that quite a bit. I hadn't noticed that. I think it's not touching, but when the way it's pulled, you got slack on the other end of the chain, whatever, when it was in that loose position I had it in. So anyway, whilst trying to adjust the gearbox back, I noticed that the adjuster stud was really loose in the gearbox, which was weird. And then I noticed there was a little crack where that lug is that the stud goes into, and that was concerning. So I did ride it for about 10 miles or whatever. It looked like a small crack, but it's a much bigger crack, and I think I just hadn't noticed with all the grime and stuff on the bike. Anyway, so I'm going to show you that on the gearbox, and also I'm going to show you something that's on the drain plug that I find really interesting, as in just a huge amount of build up. So let's have a look. Right, so hopefully the term's going to come into focus actually. Will it, won't it? I don't know if it will, but anyway, hopefully you can see all that huge amount of stuff there. It's not really wanting to focus, is it? If I put it near that, anyway, yeah, so well worth removing that every once in a while. The problem is, if you look at it from this point of view, hopefully you can see how slim the head of the hex is. It's unbelievable. Obviously it's been ground down. This is because, really annoyingly, the subframe passes underneath this drain bolt. So in order for me to drain the gearbox oil, I have to remove the subframe every single time. It's a complete massive pain in the arse, like unbelievable. And there's a couple of little studs that you have to remove. Alright, yeah, not sure what happened there with the last bit of video, just cut out. I think the battery maybe went or something or other. Anyway, so obviously I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update as to why I haven't been doing so much riding on the KTT, and I've just shown you the gearbox. So now I've got the gearbox fully stripped down, we're just looking at the shell. I'll show you a bit of that. I think you can have a look at that instead. Right, so that's where the most problems are. However, I'm not keen on the fact that I've noticed now that the crack comes across there and then obviously down through here. This has now got a slight step, not quite the right height. Things are distorted. I can see like here that this piece is lower than this piece. Multiple fractures. Now I've got another one that I've noticed coming up through here that I hadn't seen. So a little bit of a worry, because I'm not going to have anything to recut this thread once it's been welded. It's just a huge diameter, and I don't know what the thread type is anyway, but yeah, that'd be a problem. Minuscule crack around here, but I think I'm going to leave that one alone, because you've got the insert there and these two are so close together that chances are it's likely to crack there anyway. And yeah, I've never had any oil leaks because that's probably above the oil level. Inside I've cleaned it up as best I can with some petrol currently, a little bit of paint thinners as well, but it still needs some more cleaning. It was really dark on here with like really old ancient oil all round, actually. The entire surface is inside here covered. I think because the bike sat for 60 years and I don't think it's ever been apart. I mean, maybe this bearing here was replaced, looked like a slightly newer bearing, but that bearing and the one in the front cover look to be originals. Yes, so that's interesting. So I say the gears are all in really good condition and all that stuff, just needed some cleaning inside here. Yeah, I'm quite interested as well about this weight saving that's going on. This bit down in here, big pocket, and then this bit that comes around here. Obviously I've only seen a couple of velo boxes and I can't remember whether I've seen that on the other boxes or not, so it'd be interesting to know what you guys have got on your bikes, whether it's got a similar amount of weight saving going on. But that's the box. Explains why, like I said, I've only done I think one ride this year. I don't normally get that many done on the KTT, perhaps 2 or 3 a year. Anyway, so a little update. We'll update you when this is hopefully repaired. I'm a little bit scared about it.